What's up, everyone? It's Coleman Hawkins here with my friend Jeff Goodman, and welcome to Every Pod A Wildcat. I'm your host, and I'll be doing this weekly whenever I feel like it. It's just a little show to give you guys some entertainment. So I hope you guys enjoy it, enjoy the ride, and we're gonna have some fun. I got a new podcast show. I don't know if you can tell, I've been doing some push-ups, so yeah. Los Taqueritas, I have no clue, somewhere out here. Yes, sir. I feel like you're one of the guys that surprised me the most. I feel like you've been great. Dang. And welcome to Every Pod is a Wildcat. Is that it? Every pod is a Wildcat? Or Every Pod a Wildcat? Every Pod a Wildcat.
This is weird, you know, you being the host. A little bit different here. I don't know, the tables have turned. I just hope you don't ask me any really tough questions.
Nah, I won't ask you no crazy questions. It's all
softballs.
good.
I like softballs.
Yeah, those media guys set us up. I might have to set you up sometime.
Misquote me, you know, take it out of context or something.
Yeah. No, so I've been out here in Manhattan for about two months now. You know, really started grinding in the month of June, August, and you know, we're here preseason time, so it's time's ticking down. You were at practice today. What were you thinking of the squad? You know, me personally, I feel like we got a long athletic team. We got some things we can clean up on, but I think we're going to be a pretty solid team this year. What do you think?
You're deep. I mean, I think your depth is going to be something that's going to be important. I think, again, listen, so many teams have new guys. Chemistry is going to be as important as ever, right? I mean, you see it around the country. Not too many teams bring back a lot of players. You know, so I think it's going to take time. And the hard part is, it's like, the good thing is for you guys, you're in the Big 12. So you're going to have so many opportunities in league play, but you also don't want to stumble out of the gates. You don't want to take time to kind of get going. You want to come out the gate strong. And I think you guys certainly have the talent. My big question, I think I told you this, can you play the three? That's my big question. It is. Do you guys have a three? Are you a three?
I wouldn't set myself as a three. I think I can play it. Coach Tang has talked to me. He said he likes to have 2 point guards on the court at once, and he said he feels like I can be that position. I'm sure a lot of people watching know I love the pass. I've talked about it a lot. Sometimes people say I overpass, but if I'm in that position where you could say I'm the three, but I'm still being effective on the court with passing, and regardless of where the position is, I feel like we could be a pretty good team. So,
I know Tang has said this to me, so I'm sure he said it to you. Who he wants you to play like?
He wants me to play like Coleman Hawkins, really.
I heard Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, all right. He has mentioned that to me, okay. But he wants me to be like kind of just more free. And if, you know, I'm not trying to be a superhero, I'm not trying to score 20 points, I'm just being myself. He thinks, you know, we'll be good. And if we can keep the team, you know, steady-headed, locked in, and bought in, I think we could be a really great team. But he's definitely told me, you know, he likes those forwards, that Draymond type, but he told me Draymond goes hard every possession, so that's what he's going to need from me.
Yeah, you guys are similar. I mean, you are. You're similar in a lot of ways, right? Like even with your personalities, I think you've got some similarities. You're doing your pod now. Obviously, he's kind of a podcast star. You know, that's the one thing watching you today in practice. Obviously, your passing's elite. Shot maybe wasn't falling as much today. How much has, and kind of explain to people a little bit, the knee and what you did or didn't do this past off season?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time. Like I said, I've been out here for about 2 months now. I came out here late, really, because I'm trying to get everything cleared up, trying to graduate, trying to get everything figured out with admissions, all of that stuff, you know, taking a summer class. So I got here late, kind of just spent time really rehabbing. There was a point where I felt like I was doing more than, you know, the guys working out, because I'm having to come back, do rehab some more, and then I have to spend time getting on the court, try to still get a couple shots up. So no, I've just been really working at rehabbing my knee. Got a PRP shot. And
Feeling better?
It's feeling a lot better. Still, I feel like by the time the season gets here and we're on game 1, I feel like I'll be healthy and good to go. But right now, it's still a lot better than what it was last year. But like I said, I've just been spending a lot of my time rehabbing, and really, it's been about 3 weeks of me getting back on the court, playing 5-on-5. So, yeah.
You mentioned something before about not feeling the pressure to have to put up 18, 20 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody kind of knows your NIL number. It got out there to some degree. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I'm not going to ask you.
It's all alleged, yeah.
It is legend. It is legend. We don't know whether to believe it. It might be myth, whatever. But you're making a good amount of money. Your game is not predicated on scoring necessarily. You could score 10 in a game and make a bigger impact with your passing, with your defense. Mm-hmm. How much pressure is on, whether it's you or you think some of the other guys around the country right now that are making big NIL that people know? So, like, if you don't put up 18 a game or if you're not winning, like, have you started to think about that yet?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about that, and that was one of my greatest fears, especially when I saw the tweet from Shams. So
were you shaking your head like, oh no?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all that's alleged, and he used the word, so I mean, automatically people just tie that number in with me. I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's not, but I've
seen your car. all I know is I can't afford that car. The Batmobile, whatever it is.
The Batmobile, yeah. But I mean, that's definitely something I've thought about. But at the end of the day, at the next level, everybody's going to be knowing what you make. So this is a good time to kind of prepare for that. My sister works with an agency, and Jaylen Brown was the highest paid player. And obviously, Jaylen Brown's a great player. And, there might be 1 or 2 games where he might not play that well, and people are saying this, and that. But ultimately, overall, he was an NBA champion this year. So I feel like with the hard work I put in, I feel like I'm prepared to take on that challenge of just being myself. And I feel like just being myself has helped me throughout my whole entire career. So I'm not necessarily worried because it's going to be people on Twitter and not my teammates, not my coaches, not the people around me. It's just going to be outside noise that I feel like I can block out easily. But I feel like I'm ready for just a successful season. And even if it's not as successful as people want, I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm here to become a better person, a better ball player. And that's what I'm doing right now. So.
Is it strange being here? I mean, 4 years in Champaign at Illinois, Brad Underwood, certain, coaching, all of it, right? And now you're in a different spot. You're graduated. I don't think you step into a classroom now. I think it's all online, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is life just kind of strange right now?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot more weird, like just having a lot of free time on my hands.
What have you been doing? Sleeping in?
Sleeping, rehabbing, all that stuff. But it just feels different. I'm in a different city. It feels weird going to places and no one's saying a word to you. Like, really? I'm used to people hounding you.
Yeah.
I still get it here and there, but
they don't know you yet.
Yeah, they just don't know me yet. But it definitely feels weird. But I'm excited just for a new conference, new feel. But I do miss those guys dearly, and I do miss Champaign because it was just a great place for me. Everybody showed so much love. So, yeah.
All right, you got anything for me?
Yeah.
I don't want to dominate your podcast.
You've been to our practice, but have you spent some time watching other teams? How's some other teams looking? What's it looking like as far as preseason? And if you popped your head in anywhere, who's kind of surprised you a little bit?
So I haven't gotten out as much because in full disclosure, we sold our house in Boston a couple months ago, and my wife wanted to go kind of gallivanting around. So we hit a bunch of places. Now we're in Charleston trying to figure out where to move. So we're kind of homeless. Well,
okay.
Doster says I'm homeless. We're not really homeless. We went to Texas and Baylor.
Okay. How'd my man Jordan Pope look?
He's good. He's
good. Yeah, I knew. I
yeah.
wanted him at Illinois. I tried to tell the guys about
Did you?
him at Illinois, but yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. They're going to be good. I mean, both those teams, I mean, they have elite freshmen. Kid named VJ Edgecombe at Baylor from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be the #1 pick. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Cooper Flagg probably will be, but he'll be in the discussion as a top 5 pick. Trey Johnson, big guard at Texas, is terrific. Yeah. But I think Baylor, and you know this from being around Tang now, like, it's such a different culture and way of doing things. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of positivity, in terms of, like, the way they talk, the way they communicate. There's no cussing.
Yeah.
How many times have you broken that rule?
I've broken that rule quite a few times. Sometimes I forget. It comes out when you play an imperfect game of basketball.
Yeah,
so.
no doubt. What's the penalty? Is there one or not really?
I don't know if you could tell. I've been doing some push-ups.
Oh, good.
You got to do a couple push-ups. So yeah, that's cool. How do you think Texas will handle that transition to the SEC?
I mean, they have the type of team that they can. You know what I mean? Like, SEC is obviously more athletic. But I think Texas has the type of personnel. They've got older dudes. They brought in a couple kids from Indiana State that are high culture guys. A kid named Julian Larry's really good, point guard. He just knows how to play and make people better. And Baylor's got Norchad Orere, who's, to me, I would say as impactful as you of a transfer in the country. Plays hard, tough.
I think I played him. He was at Arkansas State, right? I believe my sophomore year.
Did you really?
I remember Coach was gassing this guy. He was like, "This guy's gonna jump up and get every rebound." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Bro, who is this guy talking about?" And I see this big old buff dude.
Oh, he's huge.
I'm like, dude, and he's an athletic freak.
He looks like a DN.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, he's a beast. And Jeremy Roach. Jeremy Roach going to Waco. It's so strange for me right now, as somebody who's covered college basketball for so long, to try to keep track of everybody and see you here. Like, it's just, I mean, that's the strangest part for me, and it's got to be for you even, like, in the community here. Yeah. Right? You're in Manhattan, Kansas. You're here for 8 months. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, you want to establish relationships, obviously, but it's not going to ever be the same as it was. What's your take when you left Champaign? Were you scared at all of how those fans would react to you leaving and think you were like a traitor at all? Yeah,
that was definitely like the whole legacy, like just everything that I feel like I poured into Illinois. Like it kind of like tore me a little bit just because like I connected with the fans so much, like just little things in the community that, you know, I've never talked about or you don't see every day, like just little interactions with everybody, really. It just became a place where like you felt so loved and trusted. And then when you have to make a business decision that sometimes people don't understand, that was like one of my fears was like I just hope people understand. But I feel like they've done a good job. Yeah. I feel like they've done a good job understanding, and you know, it's all love for them.
At least you didn't go to the Big Ten.
Yeah, at least I didn't. I told like right, I couldn't do it. Like there's nobody.
You eliminated Big Ten, no football. So you couldn't do Big East.
That's another thing too. I never said I wanted to go to a football school.
You just said I want to go somewhere.
Like somewhere I can
football.
I can enjoy a football game. So like Big East was eliminated. Yeah. Big East is a great conference, but it's just like, you know, I don't want to go to a school where it's like 8,000 students, no football. That's just me personally.
You love the experience.
Yeah,
of the
just
football,
the experience. You know,
tailgate and everything.
Tailgating, being able to cheer on a team. We have a good team here, top 25 team. Illinois' football team is balling. I cheer for both teams. Like
they are good.
I've been to every Illinois home game that I was there. Like if I wanted to go, no offense to Georgia, if I wanted to go to football school, I'd go to Georgia. Like so, but no, it was definitely a tough choice. But you know, ultimately, it was a business decision, and it's, like I said, graduated from Illinois. That's another huge thing too. I feel like it's really getting the degree. I made sure I got that, handled that, and yeah, it's just business. It's business. So yeah, but me personally, do you think someday there will be a cap on NIL? You just said that it's so weird seeing all these guys move back and forth. We just saw the UNLV quarterback, things like that. Do you think there'll be like a maximum cap on teams? Maybe that would even make it a fair playing field.
I would love that. Here's a couple things I would love. I would love, yes, an even playing field. Now, not everybody's going to be able to pay what the high majors pay, right? Like high majors are going to be at a different level. That's always going to be the case, though. That was the case before, right? Like Duke, Carolina, they had advantages. Kentucky, Kansas over some of the other schools, BC and Wake Forest or whatever. They're always going to have that. Yeah, I would like to have some sort of cap where I think it's a little more equal across the board.
And is that like a cap firmly on this team with this roster, and this is how much you guys get set there? Or how?
I know, because right now the hard part is with revenue sharing. It's like you could give basketball in certain places a lot more money, right? You can divvy it up however you want.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work. I just feel like it's such a, I'm not going to swear on the pod because, again, if you were at Illinois, I think I could swear. I'm not going to swear on the pod. But I think it's such a blank show, and you can fill in the blank right now in college basketball, and I think the NCAA was just so far behind on this thing. So far behind when they didn't have to be, but thanks, Mark Emmert, you screwed this whole thing up. And I think the other thing that I would love to change is when you guys, or whatever, a high major, goes and plucks Max Jones or a Cora from Samford, they got to pay him. It's almost like a guess. I don't follow soccer, but they say like a transfer fee or something like that, where you have to pay him $50,000.
The school?
Pay the program.
Okay.
So basically, Samford gets something. They were the ones who found, developed.
Yeah.
So they can be more competitive. Otherwise, the gap is going to continue to.
It's almost like a little tip. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah,
Something.
no, I could definitely see
I'm
that.
not saying it's like $500,000, but like something where they can use that money and maybe get another player.
Yeah, because there's definitely some hidden gems out there that all of a sudden come up, and they might not be like household names, but then once they get to that big program, now they televise more. They Dalton Connect. Yeah,
I mean, you're telling me Northern Colorado didn't deserve something?
No,
for Dalton
sure.
Connect,
Maybe he'll be a donor one day.
Hopefully. I mean, I think he'll be a donor to Tennessee.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's
right.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
Right.
I'm settling in a little bit. I just got to get used to it.
I said it to you. Listen, and I'll say this on camera. Like, there's nobody who I think can do this better than you, and I think it'll help you down the road. I do. I think this can be your career after 12-year playing career. That you could do this and do it very well, because as I think I told you when we did this on camera a few months ago, I think you get a bad rap. I think people don't understand how smart you are, because sometimes on the court you can do some knucklehead stuff at times. Yeah. Right? Agreed?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you going to cut down on that this year, or are you going to be you?
I mean,
what are you
have
to do?
Really. I have to, but it's just like when I'm engaged, I'm just engaged.
You
and like
can't
I just
control
said,
it.
like, it's an imperfect game, and you strive to be perfect, and you're not going to be perfect, so it just gets frustrating at times. And like I talked to you about, like, refs have such a huge impact on games, or sometimes people don't understand that, and it just builds up sometimes. But no,
I love the passion.
Yeah, when you like the game so much, like, you just want to win. So
Totally.
And it's not about like being a brat, it's just about like you like the game and you want to win so much. When things don't go your way, it just gets frustrating sometimes. So
it's all right. I throw the racket in pickleball, so my wife yells at me.
Yeah, I might have thrown a few golf clubs too.
I don't play golf because I would. Well, listen, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. I
Great seeing you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll get back out here. It may
sure.
not be as nice next time we're out here.
Yeah.
But we'll make it out again for a game.
For sure. Sounds good. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be dropping episodes here and there. I got to lock in on a season, so when I do get the time, I promise I'll get some more episodes out with my teammates. And we might have some other special guests coming in the future. So